Been so busy spending my days alone. Can't talk now, I'm taking a break off my phone. You said where you been, honey, why you being funny with me? Can't talk now.
I think about that one quote in The Summer I Turned Pretty where Belly says that her whole life is measured in summers. And I can relate. I just feel like life in general is just so much better when there is sun. Summer this year has been a lot of working. I work at a restaurant where I live, and I'm just trying to make as much money as I can before I go back to school in the fall. And on my days off, I like to go on hikes and I like to swim in the ocean, and I've also been doing a lot of reading. I renewed a library card at my local library and it's actually been helping me read a lot more. I think I'm a summer reader. I read a lot during the school year because I'm a writing student, so I get assigned a lot of required readings. But definitely in the summer is when I dive deep into reading for pleasure, and the majority of my yearly reading comes from the months of May to August. These are some of the books that I picked up on my most recent trip to the library. The first one I got was by Zadie Smith. This is a collection of 6 essays, and I actually studied her work in one of my creative nonfiction classes, and I really loved the essay we read in that class, and so I'm excited to read these. They were all written during the COVID lockdown, which will be very interesting to discover some thoughts and see how we related to that time in our life. I also picked up some poetry by Margaret Atwood. I have always loved poetry and I enjoy writing poetry too, but I just haven't written any poems recently, not since like high school, and so I'm excited to learn from the best and start practicing my poetry again. I also grabbed another collection of essays. This is by a British author, Joel Golby, and I really like his humor and self-reflective style. The first essay in this collection is titled Things You Only Know When Both Your Parents Are Dead, and similar to the Jeanette McCurdy book, I'm Glad My Mom Died, it was just a very attention-grabbing title, and I really liked that essay, and I'm enjoying the rest of the ones in this collection as well. Lastly, I picked up a fiction novel because even though I don't really write fiction, I am more of a nonfiction prose poetry writer. You can't go wrong with like a good fictional novel, and so this one's by Noja Dolan. It's called Exciting Times, and I got this recommendation from one of my favorite YouTubers. Her name is Carly, and this book is similar to Sally Rooney's writing. So I loved Normal People, loved Conversations with Friends. This author writes very similarly to Sally Rooney, and I just love the cover, and I'm really liking the complex characters that these Irish authors come up with. It's not like the most exciting book in terms of plot, but if you like a very character-driven novel, definitely check this one out, and if you are a fan of Sally Rooney. But yeah, that's what I've been reading lately. Let me know if you guys have any book recommendations. I am trying to just read as much as I can this summer and make the most of this time at home, this time of like rest and relaxation. But yeah, I love summer, love July. July is definitely my favorite month. Sometimes I wish I could just stop time and I would make July last a little bit longer. Lately, I have been trying to establish a set journaling system, and I think soon I will do a whole video on my journaling routine and how I journal. I have turned it into a daily practice, and it's the best thing I've ever done. Today, I'm just doing some journal prompts. We're about halfway through July, which I'm already getting sad about, but I just wanted to do some reflecting on the month so far and just see what feelings and thoughts I have been having over the last couple weeks and the types of things that I want to fill the rest of the month with. I picked out my courses for the next university year, and I'm really excited about what I'm going to be taking. I am a communications and writing major, so a lot of my courses are about social media and technology and creative writing, which are my favorite things ever, so I'm really happy. But in my first semester, I am enrolled in a podcasting class, which I literally cannot wait for. I love podcasts and I love talking and writing, and so the fact that I will be able to write, edit, produce my own podcast and get a university credit for it is just so fun. And I'm gonna try and like plan out what I want my podcast to be about, because ideally I will have this podcast for my class but also continue with it once the year's over. And I'm also trying to get into a fourth year course that's called Making a Book, which you basically collect all of your writing that is publish worthy, and the professor sets you up with an editor, a publisher, and by the end of the semester you become a published author on Amazon, which I think is so cool. And I've definitely been tapping into my writing over the last year, I would say, since like September of last year. I have really been tuning into perfecting my writing style. Obviously, nothing can ever be perfect, but I am finding my voice and finding my style and finding what I like to write about, and it's going to be really fun to combine all my work and see it in a physical copy. Fingers crossed they let me into the class, but we'll see. Even if I don't, I'm hoping to publish my first collection of writing very soon. I sometimes have a complicated relationship with goal setting because I have been really focusing on staying in the present moment, and sometimes planning too much for the future distracts me from that. But a couple weeks ago I made this page in my journal with goals for like a month from now, 6 months from now, 1 year from now, 3 years, 6 years, 10 years, and I only filled out like up to a year, but I think I'm going to try and come up with some little goals for the more long-term time periods. And obviously, like, if this doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world, but I definitely think it's important to have goals and have things to work towards and look forward to. But I am very much focusing on the present moment and just making this day, today, the best that I can make it. But, you know, there are lots of things I want to do in life, and sometimes it's fun to see them all written down.
You want more than this, and I can't get more than what I've got to give. You try to kiss my lips, and I don't feel right. Take my shot, and I'll be done for tonight. You won't see me at afters. Take this in with a pinch of salt. Our time's up, I'll walk you to my front door. I won't see you at afters. We knew that you don't care for my sun or my moon. You said that shit's fake, honey. You find all that kind of funny. That kind of puts me in the mood. And I want more than this. I'm sorry, but I'm not just another pair of. You try to kiss my lips, and I don't feel right. Take my shot, and I'll be done